Medic.
Just be happy with who you are.
He said something else entirely. Yes, Biden's accuser, Tara Reade, has been contradicted by multiple people, most importantly, Tara Reade. Just last year, she said of Biden, I wasn't scared of him, that he was going to take me in a room or anything. It wasn't that kind of vibe. She suggested she had filed a sex harassment report. Now she says she didn't. She says she was fired by Biden's office, but in deleted posts, she said she left because, quote, I love Russia with all my heart. President Putin scares the power elite in America because he is a compassionate, caring, visionary leader. His obvious reverence for women, children, and animals, and his ability with sports.
Did you hear that?
Is intoxicating.
Did you hear that? She's a Russian asshat, everybody. We knew it. We knew it all along. It's been proven. Bill Maher, unequivocally.
To American women. What? What the fuck? We're letting this person change the subject from Donald Trump, lethal incompetent, to Joe Biden, sex monster? She literally wrote a love letter to the murderer trying to keep Biden from the White House. Yet the New York Times is calling for the DNC to establish a truth panel on this. Truth panel, huh? Which part? Putin's reverence for animals or how intoxicating he is to women?
I'm assuming that this is actually kind of a good thing, the fact that the Democrats are trying to hold themselves to a higher standard. If the New York Times is writing that article, and if they're actually thinking of starting this quote-unquote truth panel, that would separate you from the Republicans, who are basically like, yeah, our leader basically boasts and brags about sexually assaulting women, and that's locker room talk. So that's cool. But you would want to separate yourself, right? Unless, of course, you have this rhetoric, and this is rhetoric right now that we're kind of seeing. I mean, I know he's a classical liberal. I know he's a classical lib, but this is more akin in my mind to the conservative rhetoric that we're getting. So your Breitbarts, your Fox News, your Tucker Carlsons, your Bill O'Reillys, all of them seem right now deeply, deeply concerned with this whole tarnishing thing, with this whole, well, Tara Reade's story, you know, it's either true or it's not true. We got to pull this thing apart. Victim blaming. Bill's forgetting people with shitty opinions still should not be raped. Even if she didn't say the Russian stuff doesn't matter, the issue at hand. But sorry, by which I mean this was the same rhetoric that was pulled apart for the accusations against Donald Trump. So if you'll remember that years ago with Breitbart, Fox News, all of them were doing the same thing that Bill Maher is doing right now, which is like, let's poke holes in it. Let's poke holes in the theory. Because certainly, if we hold this story up to scrutiny, it does not pass. The story has changed. And again, that is incredibly typical with the victims of sexual assault. Their stories can change. Of course, you've experienced a horrific, traumatic event. So yes, your ability to tell the same story perfectly over and over and over again probably won't be ideal. I'll be honest, I can do that now. And I'm not the victim of any kind of assault of that nature. So if someone told me, Lance, what did you do yesterday? I would tell you. And then if they said the next day, Lance, what did you do yesterday? I would be like, I have no fucking clue. That was 2 days ago. Are you serious? No one cares. It was 2 days ago. Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore. It's over now. It's gone. We don't speak of that. That's the before times, you know?
Certainly is a problem for the party on this issue, mostly because they woke themselves into a corner when they adopted Believe Women as their slogan, when it should always have been take accusations seriously. Kirsten Gillibrand said of the Al Franken allegations, the women who came forward felt it was sexual harassment, so it was. That was never tenable, because believing everything doesn't make you noble, it makes you gullible. And leaves us with a world where Republicans don't care about this stuff, so it's just a unilateral weapon that is used only against Democrats. Trump rides the bus with Billy Bush. We throw Al Franken under it. You know, Democrats are the party of choice. We can choose not to completely fuck ourselves over this. I know it's a sex scandal, and in normal times, that's what we do instead of issues. But there are actually some pretty big problems going on right now. I don't know if you noticed, but America has turned into a failed state that does a worse job keeping its citizens alive during a pandemic than Cambodia.
He's not wrong
and
now.
To me, that's a little more important than Tara Reade achieving closure. She says Biden attacked her, and he says he didn't. Those are their positions.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if that was the case, you didn't need to go through this whole rape apologia arc. You could have just said, "Hey, by the way, this may be a true story. It may not be. We don't have all the facts. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be intellectually honest right now and tell you that I, for one, will be voting for the lesser of two sexual assaulters because I believe that Donald Trump is understandably a detriment for this country and for its people, and to which I would probably agree with you. I would say, yes, Donald Trump is decidedly worse than Joe Biden. That being said, though, I'm not going to engage in rape apologia and victim shaming in order to get that point across, because starting your whole thing out with that, we're like 2 minutes into this. That makes the second part of this so much worse. So much worse.
How about this for yours? Don't know, never will, don't care. I care in the macro about women being attacked, of course. But on this one, I'm with Bogey, who said, I'm no good at being noble, but it doesn't take much to see that the problems of three little people don't amount to a hill of beans in this crazy world. Everybody says, we need to do everything we can.
How do you do, fellow kids? Huh? I mean, this one's on the internet. All the kids are going to get that reference. Like, oh, yeah, oh, Bogey. Yeah.
Can to defeat Trump. Yeah, accept anything. Well, I'm no good at being noble either, but if in 1993 Joe Biden had grabbed my nuts in a corridor, and I was in Washington that year, and I had this knowledge and revealing it could hurt the guy running against Trump, I'd save it for my memoirs. I'd like to think that I'd have a little more perspective. We have a president who says...
So, is everyone clear of what just happened? Did everyone pick up on that last part? Because he just made if I was raped, I wouldn't talk about it joke. That's the joke. If Joe Biden sexually assaulted me, I wouldn't say anything for the greater good. So shut the fuck up, victims. What you been talking about?
Drink bleach. Geez, you waited 27 years. It couldn't hold another few months? That's what I would like to ask Ms. Reade. Why now? I'm not saying why not 27 years ago. I understand it can take victims years to come forward. I'm saying...
Just tripling down on this, by the way. Like, it just gets worse and worse. You know? Why not just wait till after? When it's, like, politically convenient for you. For us. For everyone. You know, think of the greater good. I mean, come on. I've already told you. All right? I was an attractive young man. If Joe Biden had sexually assaulted me, and I'm not saying he wouldn't have, because I was attractive, after all, I wouldn't say anything about it. I would do what is right, okay? And I would shut the fuck up, because that is what is asked of me. That is my duty, madam.
Why not before Super Tuesday? Why not last fall when we still had a dozen other candidates to choose from? Why wait until Biden is our only hope against Trump? And
She did. She told this story. It was far before this time. No one listened. No one cared. But you know who did listen? Okay, all the Bernie crew. That we were the ones who were like, "Holy shit, the story is fucked," and we were trying to get it out there and try to talk about it, you know, on a repeated basis. And yet, yeah, no one listened. I think it was The Intercept, The Hill, Yahoo News were the only people who ran a story on it, and then Yahoo News retracted the story. And then it was directly after Bernie Sanders dropped out that, oh, wow, surprising. Now all these media outlets are starting to publish the story. Well, New York Times has an excuse, all right? They were doing a long-term investigation, and they've since retracted some of the elements of that investigation. Oh, and they're not going to publish the fact that 2 women have now come forward to corroborate her story. And that number's up to 4 now, so this is interesting. But again, you know, it happened. Why now? Why would you talk about this now? It's like when it's not politically convenient, you know?
And then take him down. This story is gathering an importance it should not have. There is so much at stake in this next election. The entire world.
It's gathering an importance it should not have.
Like Humpty Dumpty. Why should one person's victimhood trump everyone else's?
Wow.
Okay, that's our show. I want
to. How do you even sign off after that? Well, that was great. And now we're going to go to the dog that likes to dance on a parrot's back, swimming through the ocean, because we need some lighter fare after all that, By the way, funny addendum to the story, by the way. I don't know if everyone saw this. Rose McGowan wrote a little thing at the bottom of this tweet after he put it out saying, "Oh, by the way, I remember when I was young and I was on your show, Bill, and you turned over to me and I could feel the heat and moisture in your breath as you spoke into my ear. My mother never gave me a nice face, but she sure gave me a nice cock." When you said that to me, again, a young guest on your show, Bill. So just so I know, if that's what you're willing to say to a young white privileged actress, I wonder what you were saying and or doing to other people. So imagine my shock.
You. Yes, you. Do you like cozy environments with other wholesome people? Well, then come join the Discord. It's got a whole bunch of stuff to help you with creative endeavors, such as stock footage, royalty-free music, and an amazing community of people looking to help each other out and uplift your content. Join the Discord now by going to weareserfs.com. That's weareserfs.com.
We would like to thank Miranda Marone. You are our monarch, and we thank you for our indentured servitude. We would like to thank our lords, Ricky Pilgrim, I'm Raft, Michaela Schmid, Tomospin, Ferrer Tajon. You are all the pillars of our organization. To our Knights of the Square Table, Paul Parafit, Daniel Kahn, Clement Chutskoff, Alan R., Josh Mickelson, and Dr. Zayas, Cooper Pilot, Andrea Lynn Epperly, Dylan Bythe, Terry, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. And to our merchants, thank you for taking mercy upon us.